Yo, what is going on, Lifeboat fam? This is Captain Calhoun speaking, and you're on the lifeboat. What is going on? Welcome and good morning. We are going to have a pretty sweet episode today. We're going to have a little story time, a little positive outlook. We've been talking a lot about goals. We've been talking a lot about achievable goals, about mental health, about joy, about finding joy, right? About getting up, about passion. Today, we're going to talk about something a little bit different that ties into all of that. What about the dreams? I'm not talking about the dreams that you have at night. I'm talking about the ones you hold in here. I'm talking about the ones that drive you, the ones you have when you're a kid, and maybe, unfortunately, maybe you let them go. Maybe you let them die as life goes on, right? Maybe people step on them and you allow it, right? Who knows? Life happens, right? But we're going to talk about those kinds of dreams. We're going to talk about the kinds of dreams when you ask your kid what he wants to be when he grows up and he says, I want to be an astronaut, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what that means. What exactly is the power behind that kind of dream? And I have to say right out the gate, it's astounding. Roberta, good to see you. Sub Rosa, hello, hello. Tommy Bird, Kristen Melinda, I hope you have a great day. Kevin Hawthorne, Lynn D, Lacey Silver, TKK, Amy D. What's going on, guys? Yeah, and it's funny. I popped into the chat early, as I do now and again, and I had two comments waiting for me, one from Sub Rosa and one from Roberta. And these first two comments, I think, illustrate very well the difference between the two kinds of dreams here. Sub Rosa says Maureen Brainerd Barnes, one of Rex Huerman's victims, I'm not familiar, wrote in her journal, having serial killer dreams again. How terrifying. Now, this is not the kind of dream that I'm talking about, but I agree, very terrifying. I do not envy those kinds of dreams. But Roberta says, never stop dreaming. If you stop dreaming, you stop living. There's nothing to look forward to. And I can relate to this 100%. Maybe we should start with some story time, huh? James Collins, Pussycat, Samantha Askey, what is going on? Yo, yo, yo. Welcome in, guys. Good to see you. Happy to join you for your inspirational output. Well, thank you for saying that, Samantha. I appreciate you. I'm glad you're here for it. I spent a lot of time thinking about this, so I'm hoping it pans out how I imagine it. We'll see. We'll see. We're going to land somewhere, right? Shoot for the stars. TKK says, I'll be lurking, listening, wishing everyone lots of love. Well, thank you. And, I think I'll take your note out of your book and let's get some ones up for anyone out there that's suffering today, anyone out there that needs a little extra help, huh? And we'll get into it. I think we'll start with story time. Pull these notes up, huh? Go away. Go away, tab. All right. So my dad is a dreamer, and I have to say that I am too. And this is a good thing. This is a positive quality, in my opinion. I think that we could use more dreamers in the world, and less cogs in the machine, if you ask me. My dad always supported me growing up and my dreams, no matter how fanciful they were. Now, the rest of my family, not necessarily the case. Now, I don't want to crap on the rest of my family, but in my opinion, they let their dreams die. In my opinion, they, conformed or whatever. And maybe that's my crazy view. I think conformity is a common thing. I think it's a common, I don't know what the right word is, disposition. I think a lot of people conform. It's a lot easier. I am not that guy. My dad is not that guy. And I don't know what that has to do with dreams. Maybe there's parallels there, maybe there's not. But the point is my dad was the dreamer and the one that supported my dreams. The rest of the family proceeded to step on mine, right? You need a backup plan. Odds are you're not going to make it, right? Just generally non-supportive stuff. And this infuriated me as a kid and a young adult. This was something that, you guys know me, right? I'm pretty outgoing. I'm pretty lively. Sometimes there's no filter between here and here, right? When stuff comes out. So, when I was a kid, it was even more the case. I would shout my dreams like Naruto Uzumaki in crowds. I would proclaim them like an anime protagonist. And this is, in doing this, I opened myself up to, you need a backup plan. Odds are that's not going to happen, which is cool, right? Like I probably do need a backup plan. That's right. But why don't you follow that up with some supportive stuff? Let's, get you a guitar. Let's see what happens. And I should say, I'll take this opportunity to say that my mother bought me a guitar for Christmas one year. And that was wonderful, right? So there was some support. I don't want to make it sound like nobody friggin' supported me, but it certainly felt like nobody friggin' supported me. I have to say. And my dreams were out there, but whatever. I wanted to be a rock star when I was a kid. I wanted to tour the world. Um, and somewhere along the line, I think that I left those dreams behind. I still would love to do that, but I don't. I don't think it's going to happen at this point. I definitely should have been on that train a lot younger in life. A lot earlier. And I think that I allowed these people to step on my dreams and my passion, guys, which did not serve me. It's not serving me now, and I'm realizing this. Right? We talked a lot about apathy yesterday. I wonder, did something just change along the way? What do I dream of now? Did I just like allow that to like leave me? Did I just let those dreams die? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a different person. And what I dream of now is simpler. I dream of simpler things. The point is, though, that dreams drive us. Dreams are a source of passion and motivation like nothing else. We talked a ton about achievable goals yesterday, right? Achievable meaning something that I can get done, right? Something that I can accomplish and then feel good about. Because that's kind of the point of goals, is to get places, to get things done, to feel good, right? To be accomplished, to accomplish things. Dreams, on the other hand, I think are larger, farther reaching, right? Dreams, I think, demand a little bit more fancy, in my opinion. Now, when I say I dream of simpler things, it's not all that fancy, right? I think now I dream of comfortable living, someone to share it with. It's took me a while to figure out. I spent quite a bit of time thinking, pondering, what do I dream of now? Because yesterday and the day before, we talked about apathy, we talked about goals. Um, I wasn't entirely sure what I dream of. I wasn't entirely sure what I'm reaching for, right? Obviously, I want to make change. Obviously, I want to help people. Obviously, I want to do this, right? I want to spread love and light across the world, right? But that's not enough for me. And maybe that's weird. Maybe that's selfish. I think it's okay though. I just don't think it's enough. It's just objectively, I don't think that's enough for me, right? And like we're gonna keep doing this till the sun doesn't come up anymore. Okay. But that being said, maybe comfortable living and someone to share it with is enough, right? Maybe that is enough. That's not being an astronaut. That's not the tub on tour. I'll tell a story about that later. It's not going on tour and being a rock star, but it's bliss in my mind, in my heart. So maybe that's enough. Time will tell. Yarn Prepper, hello there. Robin Miners, hello, hello. Jane Aldrich, good to see you. Yarn Prepper says, I started living my dream. That's how it starts. Let me click on this. I started living my dream after I got fired from my job I had for 29 years. Wow. Imagine that. One door closes and the dream door behind dream door number one. I was 49 years old. Almost immediately, I began selling my crocheted stuff. Fantastic. That's awesome. And that's what you're doing now, huh? That's way cool. I would love to break into something like that. I think I'm headed for it. If that's what's for me, I think there's something for all of us. Maybe more than one somethings, right? I believe Peter LaFleur would call that the jackpot. Ha ha ha. But that being said, I think there's something for everyone. It's just up to us to find it and accept it. Acceptance is the real trick for me, at least. Because it feels like I need to accept some responsibility. It feels like the fun's going to end. I've spoken about this before, and we know now after taking that leap that the fun does not end. But it does feel like that. Good morning, Robin. It's good to see you. Has anyone seen Annika yet today? I don't see Annika. When we see Annika, I have some stuff to show off. Samantha Askey says, I had dreams when I was younger that when I could realize them, I would have been compromised. I changed my thought process and found happiness from within. 100%. 100%. And I think that this is what most people do. And I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing. In fact, this is probably what I've done as well, just without consciously thinking about it. And I mean, I've definitely consciously changed my thought processes, but I think that the dreams got affected indirectly, right? Unintentionally, I think the dreams got swept up with all that, which is okay. But I need to realize that and make sure that I'm still dreaming about something. Because if I don't, when I get up in the morning, if I'm not reaching for something, I don't feel like getting out of bed. That's depression, right? And if that's all it takes for me to be depressed, I probably should reach for stuff. I probably should challenge myself. I probably should dream big, baby. You know what I mean? So I think that's what we're going to be doing. And I encourage you to do the same, right? This doesn't mean you have to go and join astronaut school. This just means to make sure that you have some dreams, right? Make sure there's still something inside you that's on fire a little bit, right? Make sure there's still a little bit of light shining out your heart hole. I don't know where that came from, your heart hole, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Dreams are a passion unparalleled. Dreams are motivating like goals only wish they could be. And I think that's the difference. That's what separates dreams from goals. It's just a little bit of passion, maybe a vast ravine of passion. Not that goals aren't passionate, right? But dreams are definitely supposed to be a little bit more, I think. Barbara Aldrich, good to see you. Hello, hello. Flick Fox, Scooby Lee. Flick Fox says, my dad's alcoholism, mom's depression, and having two disabled brothers meant my abilities weren't nurtured and my dreams set to one side. Gave me a why bother mentality for a good chunk of my life. I can relate with this. That why bother attitude, man, it needs to go. And it's something that I take on often. And it's not like I choose, well, maybe that's not true either. I think I've gotten in a bad habit of saying, well, who friggin' cares, anyways? You know, like what the heck? I think I've gotten in the habit of saying, well, I don't care when something's stressing me out. And I think that gradually over time, I've allowed that sentiment to thrive and live and get a little bigger and a little more powerful over time, over and over and over. And it's kind of my default now. I'm kind of a grumpy old man on the inside. And that doesn't have to stay that way, right? Realizing that, and I'm not that way all the time, right? You guys see me, I'm not a grumpy old man, right? When you guys see me, I'm pretty happy, go lucky, talk about all kinds of hopes and dreams. But I have to say, I am a grumpy old man on the inside quite frequently. Um, and that can be fixed just by finding some novel experience, right? Finding some childhood innocence, childlike innocence, maybe, or just having a big fat dream. I'm reading, reading. I am a bit of a grumpy old man, says Flick. That's hilarious that you say that. It must come out sometimes on the stream. I hate the I don't care anyways when someone is arguing with me. I will get pissed more, says Scooby Lee. Yeah, if I were to like say that to somebody, I would feel like a jerk for sure. Usually that's something I say to myself when I'm like having an internal dialogue. But I totally agree with you, Scooby. If someone said that to me, it would bother me, you know? And when you comfort someone, yeah, that would really, really bug me. It's like, well, why am I even here then? If you don't care, I don't care, you know? But you and I, we know the truth. We know that they actually do care and they're pretending not to or trying not to protect themselves. You and I know the truth, and that's why we're there comforting. It doesn't make it an easier pill to swallow, but these are facts. Good morning, Jeremy. Good to see you, brother. Like an overgrown toddler sometimes, says Flick. You and me both. All right. I have some other things here. I have some other things. The point is, dreams drive us, right? This apathy I've been feeling is most definitely tied to a lack of dreams. Now, not solely, but it's 100% involved, right? Now, achievable goals are great, and in fact, necessary. Dreams, however, are a whole other breed. We said this of motivation, passion, right? If you don't have dreams, I suggest that we reach for some. And again, they don't have to be fanciful. I just, that's something that I imagine, that I think. Again, what I dream of now is simpler things. I dream of a comfortable life with someone that I care about, someone that I love, someone that I cherish. And maybe that comfortable life is just me and my dad, right? Me and my little immediate family. But hopefully, there's someone that wants to share my life with me, and I'm sure that there is, and that is enough. That's fine. But if you're not dreaming of something, if there's still not something inside you that kind of sets your heart on fire, sets your soul alight, I would reach for it. I would look for it. I would search for it. I would journal about it. I would talk to close loved ones about it. Maybe mince dreams up with someone you care about, right? Ask them about theirs and share yours, right? Or maybe ask them about theirs because you don't know what yours are and search for it. You will find it if you look hard enough. Megan Jeffrey, good to see you. Megan Jeffrey says, my son wants to have a gaming channel on YouTube. He's 19. I want to support him. I said, I will send a few of your videos to him so he can see how you get past awkwardness. Megan goes on to say, I promised him once he gets comfortable with his videos, I will share a link to his channel with the gamers here. It might go nowhere, but I will try to support him. That's wonderful. I love that. This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? We can educate our children and be like, hey, not a lot of people are successful doing this. And maybe we even tell them like, here's why. But I see the passion in you and I love that. I want you to, follow your dreams or whatever. So I'm going to do what I can to help you with that. But keep in mind, this isn't going to pay the bills, right out the gate. You're going to have to make something of this. And honestly, if the conversations I had had with my family about being a rock star and all these fanciful things that I wanted to do, if the conversation had kind of gone like that, it wouldn't have felt like they were stepping on my dreams. You know what I mean? If I had received this kind of feedback from my mother, I think it would have been a little different. Now, again, to her credit, she did buy me that guitar. You know what I mean? So I think that she was doing her best as well. So maybe I should cut her some slack, right? There's probably a lot more blame to be placed on me for letting my dreams fall away. Dude, I think this is way cool, Megan. That's super duper cool. I also would like to stream games, but I don't want that to be my thing. I feel like I would be embarrassed. But I do play games. I might as well stream them. I feel like it would be fun. And I had another thought in there. Where'd it go? Time for a coffee break. I am cold and sweating at the same time. There's something wrong with me today, guys. There is something wrong with me today. Teresa Baldessari asks, Spanx, do you think it is too late to pursue your rock dreams? I do. Now, when I say that, I don't think it's impossible. I think I could 100% achieve it, but my passion has died. I'm not passionate about that anymore. I love music. I love going to concerts. It's one of my favorite things in the whole dang world. But like joining a band, starting a band, doing a solo act, taking something like that on tour is not something that really lights my fire anymore. And in fact, for a while there, I traded that dream for going on tour with the fire crew, right? Traveling the world doing that. And when I went on my recent vacation and went and kind of did a small, tiny little portion of that, it was not what I wanted. And I realized that pretty quickly. So my dreams are definitely simpler these days. I think that I could achieve both of those dreams. I think I could be a traveling rock star. I think I could be a touring fire performer. I definitely think I could make that work. But there are things that would come with it. I think I let logic win out over my passion, which may not be a bad thing. This is where I get stuck thinking about it, right? Logically, I'm making a good move not going after those things. But my heart disagrees, right? My heart's like, dude, why don't we just go do that? So, I mean, I guess it's up to the person. You need to decide, right? Am I willing to, if I was 10 years younger, I would go for it all the way. But I'm 32, man. I'm running out of time to have kids. I'm running out of time to have a family. Takara is running out of time to have a family. You know what I mean? If that is what I want, I need to be about it right now. And being a rock star is not going to make that happen. It is being a rock star or being a traveling fire performer would align better with Takara and I. And I don't know if Takara and I are going to have a family, but it's something that we have spoken about. You know what I mean? It's something that we both long for. So if we can get our ducks in a row, I bet you money we go for it. That being said, there are a lot of ducks left to be lined up. And that's what I'm here accomplishing. That's what I'm doing here in Tucson. That is a big part of this move. you know. Um, and maybe I'm finding that passion in the hindsight, in the post, but that's okay too, because I care about her, and I'm gonna hold on to that care. I'm gonna hold on to that love, no matter what. Flick Fox has a great point. Dreams are allowed to change. It doesn't mean you failed. I love that. Well said, Flick. That's right. Good to see you, Johnny. Welcome in. That sounds like my first lockup detox, sweating and cold. Yeah, man, what the heck? I am not detoxing. I have had pancakes this morning and I'm having coffee now. I did not sleep more than an hour, that's for sure though. My brain would not turn off last night. So maybe that's it. Maybe I got a lack of sleep going on. I definitely got at least 45 minutes though. I probably shouldn't cop to stuff like that. That's so unhealthy. I have to say though, I laid down all friggin' night. I journaled. I did exercise at one point because and just nothing was working. My brain would not shut off. So I planned the show out. I started thinking and dreaming and goaling and yada yada yada. There's something else I wanted to say about that. And when I can't sleep and I don't have proper nutrition, we talk about this a lot too, right? When I don't have what I need for my body, my bio machine to operate properly, my mental health takes a nosedive. And last night was not very fun. But I tell you what, that sun came out, sort of filtering in through my blinds, and everything felt different. And I don't know, maybe it's me, but maybe it's the sunshine. Maybe it's just the perspective, right? I don't know what exactly it is, but when that sun rose, man, I felt like $1 million that hadn't slept, but I felt like $1 million nonetheless. So I think that goes to show as well. If you ever aren't feeling great, just make it through the night, yo. When the sun shines the next day, things will look a little different. Megan Jeffrey says, my dream is to have a dream. That's funny. Me too, though. Me too, for sure. When I started pondering this, I didn't know what set me on fire. I don't know anymore, right? Tell you what, though, Takara definitely does. I still love fire performing. I still love music. I don't think I'm going to do any of those three things professionally, but I could definitely spend some more time with TC. I tell you what. Jeremy says, let me scroll up on this one because it's bigger and I can read it better. Did you guys see my dad's got 2 screens now? We are leveling him up. Super proud. I'm a proud son. I scrolled up far too much. Where's Jeremy's little thing? Same, says Jeremy. My father overpushed me with music as a child and killed the fun for me. Ooh. I have friends that have a similar experience. I had the opposite for sure of this as a child and killed the fun for me. Felt like work instead of releasing emotion. When the passion becomes work, the passion dies. You know what I mean? That was one thing that when my fire collective was still together, when Breath of Fire still existed, um, that was something that we would talk about a lot. That was something that we would get hung up on, is it becoming work instead of passion, right? Some of us, I mean, all of us would have loved to have made money doing it, right? But some of us really wanted it to be a job, like a career, like wanted it to pay the bills. And some of us were really in it for the fun instead, right? I fell somewhere in the middle. I definitely am in it for the passion before and after all. But, I definitely uh, heavily considered making it like a big move, making it a career move. Um, Glad I didn't. That being said, forgot what I was talking about again. That's okay. We'll go back to the notes. Oh, Jeremy Fowler's comment. We got hung up on that a lot, man. And I think that's part of what broke us up, is because it was becoming work and not passion. We were disagreeing about things so much, about decisions, and we couldn't just get together and be creative anymore. We had to get together and make business decisions, and that was not working for us. And back to Teresa Baldessari's comment, Spanx, do you think it's too late to pursue your rock dreams? When I end up spinning out this channel, you are going to see me play guitar. Because it's just something that I enjoy doing. It's going to be on my channel. I don't want to be like the guitar guy, but I have a guitar and I play that sucker. So we'll see how far off from that rock star dream I am one day. One day soon. Megan says, I told my son Tommy took years to get the lifeboat up and going and to be patient. I think he's really brave. I think he should run it up, you know? Obviously don't like not go to work or whatever to stream. Like keep doing your other stuff, but also like make time for your passion, right? When you get off work, if you're tired, I mean, you probably need to rest, but also you probably should, serve your soul as well, right? Do a little streaming, play some games. Um, and another thing, one of the most valuable pieces of advice my dad ever gave me relating to dreams and passions was if you want, like we were talking about guitar, and he said to me, if you want to get good at this thing, you need to treat it like a job. Spend an hour a day playing your guitar. Doesn't matter what you're doing, if you're doing exercises, if you're learning a song, if you're just screwing around, whatever, but spend an hour touching your guitar every day and watch what happens. And I tell you what, I got good. I'm not that great anymore, but I still retain a lot of muscle memory. So I can do things. I can do arpeggios very slowly, which is impressive. Um, but also they don't sound that great because my rhythm is terrible because I don't play an hour every day anymore. But I tell you what, if you spend an hour on your passions daily, regardless of in what capacity, right? Maybe I'm just planning it, right? Or maybe I'm actually going through the motions. We're actually doing stuff. But regardless, if you spend an hour on your passions, a passion daily, you will make so much progress it will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. James Collins Cares says, proud son. I'm pretty sure Tommy's a proud father. He definitely is. And I don't think that he feels like a good father often. So I try to tell him as often as I possibly can how much I adore him and how much I appreciate him and how he saved me. Today, I even told him, you know what, Dad, I think you should start saying in the mirror all these wonderful things about us because I've never felt like you were a bad father, even though objectively maybe that could have been the case, right? Um, but I've never said anything of that sort to him ever. Not even like close. Like I just praise him to the moon and back. You know what I mean? And I think that if he felt that way about himself, it would be really cool. So on that note, by the way, we're squirreling here, but that's fine. When you guys tell him how much you appreciate him, that makes me so happy because he needs that. I'm gonna get emotional and start cursing. It makes me so happy when I see you guys tell him how much you appreciate him because he needs that. I think, in my opinion, I don't think he thinks very highly of himself. So that stuff just melts me away. So thank you guys for doing that, by the way. Coffee break. More coffee break. Oh, and that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote, folks, on the coffee. Get emotional and start crying and sweating. Dale Cox, what's going on? I'm taking a break on the tincture because my stomach is not agreeing with me. In fact, I've been having the most. You guys don't want to know, but the most irregular bathroom visits. We don't need to go into detail or anything. They're just not regular. You know what I mean? It would be really cool if they were regular. I'd probably feel better. So I'm laying off the sauce, man. I love this stuff. It's hard for me to eat pizza and not put the crushed pepper on. The crushed super hots, by the way, not red. Um, but I I don't know if my diet just sucks. Like maybe pizza 3 days in a row is bad. Probably bad, right? But I would like to do some hot stuff, but it is busting me up these days. So I'm taking a little break. But I'm cheering you on. I'm cheering you on. I tell you what, though, if Johnny Scoville walked in with some super hots, I would probably eat them, which is a sad thing to say. That's a lack of self control, people, on my part. But Johnny Scoville walks in with some tincture. Do you say no? I'm pretty sure that's a line from his series or whatever on Hulu, right? Forget the guy's name. Probably one of my favorite characters on the show, but Johnny gave him that crazy. I forget like the Scoville rating. It's like 11 million or something crazy, 14 mil. And the dude's face just lights up immediately. You can tell he's like, oh, I was not ready for this. Gold. Teresa Baldessari says, Spanx, your dad is sensitive, and it's great that people tell him someday it will sink in. But how you feel clearly means more to him than us. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Interesting. The more I think about that statement, it is tripping me out a little bit. But that being said, I had something else. He's a Cancer. Did you guys know that? He is very emotional. He's a very sensitive individual. And I am also that way, but I am a Pisces. I think that, the nature versus nurture conversation gets really interesting when it comes to my dad and I, because he's technically my stepdad. He adopted me, right? So technically, we're not blood. We have birthmarks in the same places. We do a lot of things the same. So there's like a whole lot of spiritual bones being thrown our way, right? We do not need to have birthmarks in the same place, right? That's not supposed to be that way. But, you know, whatever powers run the world and the universe decided to throw us that bone. And we're both happy about that. But, the nature versus nurture conversation is so interesting because I grew up with him for the first part of my life in whatever capacity that was. And then we didn't see each other forever, right? So I have like this interesting window of time where there was some nurture, right? But there's also a way more nature going on because we didn't really spend that much time together, right? But we are so friggin' similar in some ways. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. I'm a Pisces too, son. I love that, Carol Stewart. Hell yeah. Pisces gang. I actually I love my fish friends. I have a lot of friends that are Pisces, but we don't always swim together. When we do though, we swim hard. You know what I mean? When we do swim together, we are as thick as thieves. Um, but sometimes we swim our own way, it's kind of the Pisces thing. Megan Jeffrey says the lifeboat is changing my life. Here, let's get current over here so I can click. Tommy is a champion. Things are coming together, and I'm actually getting to a place I can almost feel genuinely happy. I am not pretending. Let's go. Yo, where to go? That's trophy worthy. That is what I want from this channel. I want to spread joy. I want people to be able to find themselves, refine their dreams, like to help heal. We are all broken in some way, shape, or form, in different capacities as well, right? We're not all super duper broke, right? But we all have experienced hardship, right? We've all experienced trauma. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, talking about it. But I tell you what, this right here, what Megan Jeffrey is saying right here, this is what it's all about. This is why I do this. Thank you for sharing that, Megan. I'm so glad to hear that. Kellyanne, love you. Good to see you. Hold fast to your dreams. For if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. I love your words. Jack Court, good to see you. My wife has the same problem about movement, and she drinks coffee. We eat the same thing, and my mother-in-law and me have regular movements. Oh, we're talking about those kind of movements. Took me a second there. I had to read the whole thing. Interesting. Maybe the coffee, honestly, the coffee makes the movements happen sometimes. We don't need to talk about this a ton because it's gross, but I feel like the coffee assists, but maybe it's actually, a wrench in the gears. That is an interesting, maybe I should try tea for a week and see what happens, or a couple weeks instead. Dale Cox is a Taurus. My sister's a Taurus. And so is Hunter, my good buddy. I'm also on the Aquarius cusp, guys. If you're into astrology, I'm like the second day of Pisces. I'm the 21st of February. Training Human, good to see you. It's been a while, man. Hell yeah, welcome in. It's always a pleasure. Spanx, your father and the support of this boat has enabled the best version of myself to flourish. I'm a few days out from 2 years sober. Oh my. He's a great man. Please tell him he is loved. I do all the time. In fact, I tell him so much, sometimes I'm like, should I say it less? But I will continue to just smother him with love. And I will send him love from you guys. I'll send him love from you, trainee. I'll tell him you said that. How about that? TKK says, I'm a Leo. You know who else is a Leo? Takara. And I do not have a ton of Leo friends, but when we met, we immediately bonded. It was very strange. I think we were meant to be friends at the very least. The lifeboat is an anchor for a lot of people. I love that. Diana Reese says, done a lot of research into nature versus nurture over the years. Nature is predominant. Nature has little influence. I wish I could change that for us all. I don't know which one's supposed to be nurture, because they both say nature, but I know one of them was supposed to be nurture. Scooby Lee, I feel like I knew this about you. Have you shared this before, or am I just like a weird psychic human? I feel like you've shared this before. We've talked about astrology like once or twice, I feel like. Hey, Christy, thank you for that. I love you too. I hope you have a great day, all right? I'm still loving the pink hair. I hope this message finds you well, Christy. You are dazzling and tremendous. Thank you for all that you do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. That's what I thought, because I don't think I don't have superpowers. And if I did, it would be breathing underwater, not mind reading. That's for darn sure. Pisces fam. I sent my buddy Isaiah, he's a Pisces, a little message the other day. We never talk unless we're like in the same state and we can hang out, which is an interesting dynamic that we have. But I was thinking of him, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna message him. And I said, thinking of you, fish bro. And then there's an emoji that's like a flag with two fish coming off of it instead of a flag. And I sent him that, and he thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting a part of this message here, because we squirrel about. No, we pretty much hit it all. Reach farther, shoot for the stars was the last thing I wrote on this thing. And honestly though, listen to your heart, right? Listen to your heart and your soul. If you don't want to reach for the stars, don't, right? But if there's even like a shadow of a doubt that maybe you'll regret not going for it, go for it. Go for it, right? Figure it out. It's worth it. That's what this life's about, yo. This life is about joy. This life is about connection. This life is about like figuring out who you are and what you want to do, and then go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? This life is not about going to work, making money, and paying rent. This life is not about whatever the heck most of us are concerned with most of the time. And maybe I should just speak for myself, right? But the whims of the world. Christy Hughes, I really appreciate you so much. I'm gonna forget to put that up if I keep rambling, so I just want to make sure I shout you out. I appreciate all your support. Flick, Aries comes to mind. I don't know why. I did not give that any thought. It was the first thing that came to mind, and I just blurted it out because that's my gut. So I'm going with it. Am I right? I feel like I might be wrong though. I was saying something. Oh no. Cancer. I feel like you've shared that before too. Now that you're saying that, I don't know why I said Aries. That's like the opposite of what you are. You seem very like confident though when we speak. Maybe that's just our relationship, but you seem like and not that cancers aren't confident. My dad's confident as hell, right? Um, yeah, don't hold it against me. I'm trying to remember what I was talking about. Probably wasn't that important. Jane Aldrich says, Captain, y'all saved my life. All of you. It just gets better. Let's go. That's how life's supposed to be. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Something about life. Lost it again. That's how my brain works in the morning. Like Swiss cheese, lots of holes for ideas to fall through. Diane Reese says, I tried to nurture the perceived good things in my ex. He was a bad man, born of bad people, and I couldn't help walk away from them. I would 100% agree. And honestly, you're like this part of your body that we can't really quantify, like the spiritual part, like this, like not your heart, your beating heart, but your heart and your soul. You know what I mean? This part that we can't feel, taste, touch, smell, hear. But there's this part of us that's undeniable, right? My gut feeling. There is something inside me that resonates with truth. And there's something inside me that like knows when something's off, right? I listen to that. I don't question it very often, maybe I'll give it a couple like, wait, what, but usually I just trust that sucker because it knows. And I don't know why or how it knows, but whatever it is, it knows. It knows when truth is spoken, and it knows when falsehoods are spoken. It knows when someone has, ulterior motives. It knows when someone has hate instead of love. And I think that all of us have that. It's not just me. I don't think that's just an empath thing. But maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. The more fun I have, the louder I get in the morning. I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. And I have a headache like no other. Where's my water? I can see you, Nicola. You good? Don't cry. I mean, crying's good though. Crying's good for you. It allows those emotions to escape the body in a safe manner, which is necessary sometimes. I hope that whatever's going on, Nicola, I hope that it becomes resolved. I hope that doesn't go on for too long, huh? 100% Kellyanne. Sometimes we lose our way, but I definitely agree. I think we all have an inner compass. Nicholas says I couldn't cry for 3.5 years. Maybe one day I'll be able to pop the cork on mine because they'll well up and then they will go away. I have a hard time releasing those emotions for some reason. I'm really glad that you're able to cry today, Nicola. That is a blessing. Maybe a blessing in disguise. I'm sure it doesn't feel very blessed right now, unless you're happy crying. But maybe it does, not being able to cry for 3.5 years. I wonder the last time I actually had a good ball. It's probably a long time ago, dude. Jane says I'm beginning to think I'm the only Aries around here. My buddy Taji is an Aries. I have some Aries in my life. It's interesting. I feel like I clash with Aries a lot, but then we'll like come back together and like build the most beautiful things together, like creatively. I have a very interesting relationship with Aries. And the only Aries that comes to mind, other than you, Jane, that I'm thinking of right now is Taj. And we have a very colorful relationship, very, very constructive, productive, very connecting, but we clash. We slap each other sometimes, not physically, but mentally, spiritually. But this is a good thing, Flick, that you're a confident Cancer. And I get along very well with Cancers. My dad had a fall last night, and I had full insomnia. I mean, I can relate with that for sure. I would probably be in the same boat if my dad had a fall. I tell you what. Let's get some ones up for Nicola, his family, his father, um, and again, anyone else out there that's suffering, huh? Donna, what do you mean by this? What makes crying bad for you? You're saying Captain crying is the worst thing that can happen to me. Is that related to a health issue? What's going on? Much love, Dale. Got to go tend to the smoker. Got ribs, chicken, brisket, and pork butts going. Man, you are just out of control with the smoker, dude, which is not a bad thing. I'm just jealous. I'm just jealous. I'm going to come out with it right now. I want some of your meat. No, but you inspire me, dude. Need to step my cooking game up. The last thing I cooked Other than the pancakes, I made macaroni and cheese. That was some heavy cooking going on. But yeah, man, enjoy all that, brother. Hope you have a great day. Megan Jeffrey says, no room for crying in my life. I do not get the opportunity for softness, which is difficult for a woman as we are naturally emotional. I wonder if this is a more common thing than I anticipated. But it's kind of a human thing. It's kind of how our society is structured, right? We are, at least as men, we're told to like not cry. Real men don't cry. This, that, and the other. There's even what's that Fergie song? Big girls don't cry. And there's this whole societal expectation that we shouldn't be crying, right? It's kind of indoctrinated in that sense, I think. And this is something we need to break ourselves of because this is a healthy outlet for emotion, a specific emotion, a few specific emotions, right? But there's not many more productive ways or safe ways, right? Not there aren't many ways that are safer than crying to release those emotions. You know, it's pretty harmless unless I'm missing something here. Kellyanne says, "Do you have a crock pot? Great for no fuss meals and busy people." I do. In fact, I got rid of all of the diatomaceous earth in my kitchen yesterday. It's all gone. I have finished that. There's still some in this room, but I saw a couple roaches, so I might leave that stuff there. But the kitchen is mine again, and in doing so, I cleaned like all the stuff in the cabinets. I went to town yesterday, and I had forgotten the crock pot was in the back of the bottom cabinet. So I'm definitely gonna bust that thing out and make some pork butts or a roast or something. Meatloaf, who knows? My grandpa's got a killer meatloaf recipe. Killer. No, absolutely not, Flick. That's not weird at all. I also am quite fond of you. I'm quite fond of all of you. And if you haven't noticed yet, I'm quite protective of this boat and everyone on it. So I accept tender love and care. You know what I mean? I accept people caring about me. That's something that I do not eschew. Word of the day: issue, spelled ESCHEW. I believe that means to like brush aside. Might be wrong. I've been wrong before. Thanks, James. I appreciate you. I am just doing what I can. I feel better about it every day, which is crazy because eventually, you would think that there's nowhere better to feel, but I literally feel better every single day. Not to say there's not ups and downs, but I keep elevating myself somehow or being elevated. I'm not entirely sure which is the case, but I'm not complaining or asking questions. That's for sure. Let's run it up, right? Let's go. Jeremy Fowler says hot sauce belongs in a crock pot on anything, anytime. I can get behind that. I got to get me some like killer hot sauce. I have like a couple sauces, but they're all right. They're all right. They're nothing to write home about. I definitely wouldn't introduce them to my mom. Donna says, no, it's totally psychological, Captain. Let me find that on the left so I can put it up. My grandmother told me not to cry. She died before she gave permission. Oh my Lord. So crying tears me up when it happens. And my emotions are overloaded to be able to cry. Man, that is rough, Donna. I do not envy that. But I will say I may have a possible solution. And this is something that I suggested to someone else for a very different problem a couple days ago. I can't remember who it was or what the day was or what the topic was even. But if you want to try, if you're willing, I would write a letter to your grandma and talk to her about this in your letter. Be like, hey, I know, and use your words, right? Not mine, but say something to the effect of like, hey, I know that this is something that you didn't give me permission for, but I think I need this. I think I need to let these emotions out, or however you're feeling, right? But write a letter to her and then do something with it. Send it to yourself, throw it off a bridge into the ocean. I don't know, but do something with it. Don't keep it, right? Unless That's what you feel called to do, right? But I would, if you're willing, I would write her a letter and see if that moves some of that emotion inside you. Maybe that'll unlock some stuff so it can start breaking apart. Like you're massaging out your emotions, right? Exactly like that, but by writing a letter. And if you do choose to do that, please let me know what happens. It may be opening a can of kick butt on your emotions. It might be a lot, right? But the only way to shed these things is to walk through them, right? We have to experience emotions. We have to let them wash over us. When we hold on to them, they find their own way out. And when they find their own way out, it's violent. It's much better to give them a path to freedom. Let them wash over us and not hold on to them. So in the spirit of that, I would write a letter and let us know how it goes, please. Yeah, Nikolai, I definitely heard this a lot as a kid. Not from my dad. Not from my dad. Just to be clear. Hot sauce recommendation: Queen Majesty Red Habanero and black coffee. When you say that, are you saying you put it in your black coffee or that's a part of the flavor? Like that's a part of the sauce? James Collins with that hot fire. Your grandmother would not want you to be burdened by this. It was the old way. You're allowed to have all the emotions in the spectrum. I wish you a healthy, happy life and love you. This is why I get up in the morning, folks. This is it. Part of the sauce, says Caitlin. I'm going to check that out. Let's put that. Oh, it was you, Caitlin. Yes, I took today off to write my letter. Thanks for that recommendation the other day. So you're writing it today. Let us know. I'll ask you again tomorrow. I'll see how it went. And you might not know exactly how you feel immediately. It might take some time to process, but it should shake things up. Maybe picture your emotions like sediment, like at the bottom of, the ocean or a lake or something. It's going to settle and kind of get a little harder. So you got to shake it up, break it up, and it's easier to move by indulging, right? Like when those random memories we don't want to have come back up, indulge them. When we run into some trauma, write the letter to the person or something to that effect. There are different ways we can shake up and break up these emotions. And this has worked for me. This letter move has worked for me in the past, and that's why I recommend it. I love that, Caitlin. I love that. I have not seen the paintings you sent yet, Nicola. What, do you send them physically or on digitally? I might have seen them actually. I really wish Annika was here because she sent me something and I want to share it with everybody. I guess we can share it with everybody and she'll just have to find out later that I got her awesome stuff. Look at how talented Annika is, guys. My Instagram is 1,000 suns, and she must have known that because she painted me 1,000 suns. I mean, it's not 1,000, but look how creative she is. This one's my favorite. I don't know why. I really like that one. I didn't even realize there was a message on the back. I'm not going to read it right now because it's for me. She wrote me another letter too, so that's why I didn't realize that was there. She also sent me some really sweet rocks, guys. You guys want to check these rocks before I get out of here? Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It certainly makes a difference. I'm going to need to refer to the cheat sheet here. This is green fluorite, I guess. This little sucker is so pretty. You can't really tell because right in the coffee. That would have been terrible. Maybe we can get some light on it. I don't know what it is about that green, but I love it. She sent me some raw amethyst as well. Very beautiful specimen. She said this is from her personal collection chosen specially for me. I read that and I smiled so much it hurt. Not even playing. Not even playing. This one is raw opal. I knew that. I didn't need to look. But dude, look at the occlusions in there. Can you see the occlusions? You probably can't. But I F with that. That's way cool. And then I believe I'm gonna forget fire agate. It's got like a little like bit of like quartzy occlusion in there. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not a rock expert, but I love them. And this one's so small but so beautiful. This one's Angel Aura Quartz. It looks like it's got that iridescent like rainbow kind of sheen to it. And it's very fragile, so I should probably stop fingering it. And that's it right there. And she sent me two beautiful letters, one of which I have read. Shout out to Annika. Thank you so much. Cool stuff, I have to say. The painting is amazing. I mean, it's all amazing. The rocks are amazing. I don't know if I've shared my rock collection on here. I want to figure out what's going on with Nicholas paintings before I forget, though. Email. Okay, okay. I will. I have not seen them yet. Then I will. I will check that out. Wait, maybe I did. No, I don't think I did. I'm gonna have to go check. I'm obviously not certain if I've seen them or not. Another one of my favorite stones that I've got, I don't know if I've shared this one, is this crazy amethyst spear. I'm pretty sure I stole this. Full disclosure, not my proudest moment. Repossessed, repurposed. That's a lie. I'm pretty sure I stole it. From a friend, which is, I guess I didn't. Saying that out loud makes me think about it, but it's okay. You gotta take responsibility for stuff. I'm starting to sweat again, so I'm gonna get out of here. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Lifeboat. I don't know if we'll paint later. I would really like to. Again, I only got like an hour of sleep, so I might nap through that time. Maybe I won't be tired at all, though. And if that's the case, we'll definitely be painting. Today's not a paint day, but again, I don't know why I'm doing that. We can't see over there, anyways. But I'm really excited to touch that painting up some more. I've been watching a lot of Naruto, and I'm really, really excited to start painting Sharingans, which is the crazy eye designs, the iris designs that the Uchiha clan has. And they provide all kinds of ninja power. But I also have this weird thing in my head. They call it the something something, the Mangekyo Sharingan in the show is what they call it. I know I'm just going off on a nerd tangent, but something inside me says Mangekyo Salamigan every time I see that word or hear that word. So I'm going to make the little Uchiha eyes and put salamis in there instead of whatever symbols they use, like little sausage sticks. And I don't know if I can paint that accurately or not, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm excited about it. So that being said, Captain Calhoun, and this has been the Lifeboat. Love you guys. Thanks. Shout out to the mods, to the crew, to everyone. Thanks for being here. You guys make my mornings amazing. We'll see you later.